guys, I want to talk to you today about negotiating a deal because I think going into the new year, we are going to see the market heat up. Based on all of the information that I'm reading with respects to lowering interest rates, just moving forward with the economy, sales have been so stagnant this year. I mean, we're down almost 50% of where we were last year. We've had a massive amount of real estate agents get out of the business because there just isn't enough business to sustain a living right now unless you are an active agent and you are working from past clients and lots of referrals, which is definitely something that we all need. We're also seeing the industry change over so that people like us, myself and Frank, that are dedicated to you and we work for you with conviction and have integrity, we're doing okay through this past year. Anyhow, let's talk about negotiations because I think that this is something that's absolutely imperative that you have an understanding of what we do on your behalf while we're working in a negotiation situation. So negotiations basically can happen back and forth. So let's give you an example. So we just had a client who purchased another property first, which is actually not something that I would recommend, but it was sort of their dream home. And well, it was their dream home, not sort of, and they did not want to lose out on it. They ended up going into a multiple offer situation. So from that respect, we had to negotiate to secure the property on their behalf. Now, they have a property that they live in and they wanted, obviously, and had to sell it in order to move into the new property that we secured for them. In the current market right now, we were very fortunate because they did accept our offer with a sale of buyer's property condition, which is a really big deal right now and definitely more normalized in this particular market that we would see something like that. And what that actually means is the seller accepts our offer that has the condition in that allows us to sell our property by a given date. And then at that particular date, we have to, whether we've sold our property or not, we have to ultimately make the decision of, do I waive that condition and fill out a notice of fulfillment, or do I let the offer die? Because if I don't waive the condition, then the offer is dead. So we knew that the house that was purchased on behalf of our clients was priced right to sell. It was definitely priced right on the lower end. All of the properties that were around that particular property were selling about $100,000 up more than that particular property was. So we knew just based on that information alone that it was a motivated seller. So they accepted our offer, and then this was a complete surprise sale because our buyers, our clients, had not intended on moving. They actually purchased their home years ago to be in their forever home, and they did everything to it to make it their forever home. And then they had a family dynamic change. They had more people living with them, and guess what, guys? I initially, in the beginning of my real estate career, not being a real estate agent, but investing in real estate, buying my own first home, I remember this conversation with my realtor. I said to her, I'm never selling. I'm going to live here forever. This is going to be my forever home. And she said to me, bless her heart, I absolutely love her. She said to me, Melissa, the average person moves 5 times in their life. And statistically, the first home you purchase is never your forever home. And I'm like, I'll never forget. Her name was Ann Ellis. And I'm going to prove you wrong. Well, guess what? Ann was right. So, and like my clients, mine and Frank's, they found their new forever home. So we listed their house. We had a week to get their house up for sale. We listed their house. We priced it aggressively. We hit the market. Unfortunately for us, the market was not as active when we listed our house. Like literally a week can make that much difference to when they purchased the house a week previous, because we definitely saw the market slowing down even more than what it was before. So we listed their house. We had, one of the things that we said to them was, if we don't have an offer within the first 2 weeks, which by the way is a really big deal, if we get an offer within the first 2 weeks, then we have to readdress pricing, because we need to be more aggressive with where you're situated for getting your forever home. So we didn't get an offer in the first 2 weeks, but we did have a lot of interest. Unfortunately, the buyers that were out looking at that time were not looking in the price point that we had priced it at, even though we priced it aggressively to sell. Had we been in the spring market, had we been holding, had we sold our property first before we purchased another property, then we would have held to our price, because we were priced right in the median of market value. And in reality, the property that we had to offer should have sold for what we listed it for. But because this is where the negotiation comes in, but because our buyers purchased another property first, we knew we had to sell, because they made the decision throughout this whole process of, yes, they wanted the property that they purchased. They could have easily let it go, but this is where you need to think of all of the things in the whole transaction of what is important. So we were talking to them all along. We knew we would be readdressing a price reduction, not a substantial amount, but a minor amount, when we reached the 14-day mark and we hadn't sold the property. We readdressed the price. We had another open house. We had a ton of people out to the second open house. It just so happened that there was a whole bunch of open houses in the neighborhood, and we had like sort of a caravan of people coming through, which was absolutely fabulous. The people that ended up purchasing it were the people that came through during the first open house. And this ultimately is what ended up happening. I busted my ass to try to get that offer to come forward so that our people would feel confident with waiving the condition of the sale of buyer's property, which they chose to do before we had in fact secured an offer. This is a big risk and gamble, but this is what I'm going to say to you right now. Out of all the agents that I talk to and all of the buyers that are out there, we are seeing activity. It's not huge activity, but if you are in average price point of anywhere between 500 to 850, 875, we are seeing activity in those price points. There are so many people out there that are looking for properties, first-time home buyers that are the ideal client. Those are the ideal client, first-time home buyers, because the negotiation is straight up then. The negotiation is based on, which is very typical of what happens. We accepted the offer. They had conditions in it. We countered the offer back. We came to a mutual agreement of what was acceptable. And ultimately, we had standardized conditions of finance and home inspection. We knew we were priced correctly. The other agent knew we were priced correctly. We came within a marginal amount of what we had lowered our price to, and our sellers made the decision that, and this is definitely something because we live to the monthly. And what I mean by that is you have to make the decision of, let's say you get an offer in and it's $10,000 less than what you want. You have to decide of what does that $10,000 equate to over 30 years amortized on your mortgage. Is it $1 a day? Is it $1 a month? Is it $10 a month? Will that kill you to accept that offer if you have the decision to make to move forward into the home of your dreams? So our buyers, negotiation, they decided to waive their conditions previous to firming an offer up, and we managed to secure everything all within that week of us going back and forth with the selling side of things and then with the buying side of things. And guess what? The person that sold the house initially is moving into their dream home, and our buyers are moving into their dream home. and the property has been sold, and the new year is looking really great, and they're going to get a good interest rate to boot. Peace out. Love y'all. Food for thought. Ciao for now.